Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Yeah, you were saying, I keep saying this. Every thing they do on the Trump campaign right now, I'm like, is that all you got? Is that it? Like Liz Wheeler, who's, I don't know, some right-winger, said Kamala faking an urban accent. Her mother's from India, her father's from Jamaica. Faking an accent to sound more black is weird. And you just said, show me you got nothing without saying you've got nothing. Mm-hmm. Right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, not only that, but I don't know if you've seen it yet. As soon as the Walz pick was announced, the former president blasted out an email or a fact or a text, I'm not sure which, saying Tim Walz means hell on earth. God. Can you think of a human being less associated with hell on earth than Tim Walz?
I know. Right. I know. It's just, and also, I've been saying a lot of the normal pundits are irritating the bejesus out of me. Like, David Axelrod, who seems mad he didn't get his mini primaries, whatever that was supposed to be. James Carville, like everyone's like, oh, it's just irrational exuberance. No, it isn't. This is real. It's organic.
There's nothing wrong with irrational exuberance if you can maintain it.
Right.
I'm perfectly willing to be irrationally exuberant all the way till like December.
But was it Nate Silver? Was he tweeting? What was he? Was he talking about Shapiro?
Yeah.
But you just said an opinion on political instincts I do not value.
Yeah, Nate's good with numbers, but I wouldn't trust him to run a campaign for county commissioner.
No. Oh, I think he said the people with the worst political instincts in the world think he'd be a bad pick. I don't know if he was talking about Shapiro, but anyway, I mean, Charlie, as we said, what a deep bench. They're all fantastic. And I hope they could all be vice president or president. I hope they get, great cabinet positions or whatever. It was really an embarrassment of riches.
I hope they all get primetime speaking roles at the convention.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I hope they all get a chance to shine.
Yeah. That's going to be a hot time in the Chi-town. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, thank you for this. I'm trying to cover all of the stories, but I was talking about how dumb it was to attack Brian Kemp. Aaron Rupar said Trump goads his crown of Georgia into booing Republicans Brad Raffensperger and Brian Kemp, who he calls disloyal. And you just said it's very important to be reminded how fundamentally stupid he is. I mean, he is running the worst campaign ever on top of Kamala Harris running one of the best ones ever, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's plainly been, as tennis coaches say, wrong-footed by this whole thing. Right. I mean, he has nowhere to go. He has no idea how to counter this, and his running mate is definitely no help. So,
yeah,
his running mate is, in fact, the living definition of no help.
By the way, I hadn't heard anyone else make this point except you on Twitter about the 9/11, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. You said all those death penalty freaks can't execute the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks because nothing he said under torture is admissible in a civilian court. Brilliant, guys, really. I mean, this is what we were talking about at the time, about the torture czar and his friends in the Bush administration,
I mean,
right?
You probably can't get most of that stuff even in a military court.
Yeah.
I mean, the United States government has managed to botch the murder trial of the greatest mass murderer in history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
they can't get him into court. They can't get him into court. They can't get him out of Guantanamo. And, the Republicans, and sad to say, a few Democrats, are more content in having the issue than they have putting this guy in Supermax for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I mean,
which should have happened 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I thought I was the only one saying this, Charlie, but Randy Mayhem Singer threaded, if Donald Trump thought an attack on our country would help him in the polls and he could arrange it, he would. Mm-hmm. That's what a sick, vile person he is. I've been saying that, with him saying more than once, there's 100% going to be a terrorist attack on American soil before the election. I'm like, what do you know that we don't? I mean, you would not put anything past him, would you?
Well, no, now that we found out that, that it really should have been Egypt all along.
Yeah,
right.
Instead of Russia. Please do not let that story die.
Thank you. You can't let people just get away with stuff because they've done so much crime. You're just like, oh, well, all those ones, we'll just let those go. I mean, and Bill Barr, I still don't understand why he's on TV and not in prison or not being hauled, but at the very least before Congress. This is another investigation he killed, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they'd lack witnesses from the FBI
Right.
or the CIA to talk about this particular fiasco, because plainly it left a lot of dissatisfied people
Yeah.
in law enforcement. Because, if Carol Leonnig is right, and I have absolutely no reason to doubt her, they had this guy cold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple good news thing. Jenna Ellis, who worked closely with Giuliani, will cooperate with Arizona prosecutors in exchange for charges being dropped against her in the fake electors case. I'm saying this is
Flipper, faster than lightning.
Thank you for setting me up for that. I think this is revenge of the COVID fart, don't you?
It is.
Rudy COVID farted on her and gave her COVID, and I think this is.
I think you're right.
It's all coming around.
That's it.
Do we know whether that's a vector for the disease or not? Seriously.
I would imagine if you can get it through
Right?
breath, why not?
But I don't know if we can say that definitively.
But it is
Yeah,
one of the
thank
funny.
you, Chris.
Just when you thought
Because
nothing could
not
top.
only can we not say that definitively, I don't want to say it definitively.
Right.
Not only. I'm just saying we don't. I'm just saying we thought nothing would top the Four Seasons landscaping.
Yeah.
But you heard the audible fart, and you saw the look on her face, which every woman recognizes. Like, oh my God, really?
And there were toilet plumes, so you were supposed to close the lid after you took a dump and flushed it, because
Speaking of which, by the way, I can't even keep
What the
track
hell
of
happened
these.
to this segment?
I have no idea.
I can't keep track of these
Where did
news
it all go
cycles.
wrong?
But did someone sniff someone's chair? Some right winger after
stop it.
after a Trumper got up, he sniffed his chair.
Wasn't that the guy he was with yesterday?
That's too. He's not. He's Trump's. Oh God, I gotta. Claire McCaskill was talking about it, Charlie. But I was like, can this news cycle get any weirder?
Well, it was that influencer that he was with yesterday, that podcaster.
he smells farts.
And the guy got up
Yeah.
and he went and he sniffed his chair. I mean,
He-
oh my
yes.
God, they're so weird, Charlie.
He does that. Yes, he does that. That's
Do you
the thing.
think Tim Walz got this because he coined the whole weird thing, which is really
I think
resonated?
I think that probably got him noticed for the first time,
Yeah.
especially when it took off.
Right.
But he's Midwestern normal that most people can relate to.
Yeah, as the son of a guy who was a public school teacher and administrator for 35 years, I am overjoyed
Yeah.
at this. Because I'll tell you what, if you can ride her in a middle school lunchroom, Putin's a breeze.
Yeah. Boy, she did a head fake by making it in Philadelphia today because everyone was like, oh, it's Shapiro. All the guessing game, all the tea leaves are.
Yeah, when is the announcement? I don't even know.
It's today in Philadelphia, their first
Today,
appearance
yeah.
together.
I don't know
This
when.
afternoon, right? Or this
Yeah, they
evening?
got
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, they said the announcement would be this morning and then the rally will be later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, exciting. Oh my God. I think they're going to get a bump even from this, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and by the way, if you want a really good take on what he's been like as governor of Minnesota, Dave Dayan over at American Prospect has a great summation of what he's done as governor.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things that Dayan points out is he on a state level, he filled in the gaps in the Build Back Better agenda.
Right.
The stuff they had to compromise away to get that passed, he got it passed in Minnesota for Minnesotans.
Wow. I don't need the article.
By the way, this is my first segment from my new digs.
Oh, congratulations.
wow. Congratulations.
I was going to say thank you for the article. I don't need that. I have phone lines. That's all you need as a radio person. I just like anyone from Minnesota call. And
Yeah.
I've gotten how many Waltz fun facts have we gotten
We
already?
got a lot.
Many.
He has
Why do research when you can have a radio show?
and he has deep Nebraska ties too.
Yes.
Yes, we found that out.
A very small town in northern Nebraska.
Yep.
Yeah. And now the
That part of Nebraska that Nebraskans like to call up by Minnesota there.
Yeah.
and now the governor of Minnesota will be a Native American woman. This election is the gift that keeps on giving. I just can't.
And what did you say her heart will do?
My heart will soar like a hawk when she gets sworn in.